after joining the civil services cadre in 1997. In his 28 eventful administrative years, he has held key postings in Assam. He also had the unique experience of serving for 8 years in Meghalaya, wherein he was posted as a Deputy Commissioner of West Hills District. Separately, he has also worked on inter-cadre deputation to the government of Kerala and was posted as a Chairman Commissioner, Commercial Taxes, Government of Kerala. Last role, he has served as the Zonal Development Commissioner, SEZ, Andheri, Mumbai. Mr. Spurred for the years of administrative service by his father, who was in Indian Army. It is in the city of Hyderabad, Sikandrabad, where he has prepared for his UPSC after his post-graduation and successfully completed in 1997. His late mother, despite being a homemaker, was an immense source of strength and support through the prolonged period of preparation and appearing for the tough UPSC selection process. Sharing glimpses from some of his multiple life learning lessons, why it is important, because these experiences I will be sharing with all of you will more about saving lives and staying alive oneself. The Commissioner of Commercial Taxes was about number crunching and data analytics and policy implementation. As a young officer, he has seen a lot of challenges, whether it was a rumor, it was a news broadcasted in the television that he at that time was a DIG, and there was a senior who was, the television was broadcasting that there was some incident where it was said that there are many such experiences which I can keep going on. So first and foremost, that we all have to learn from him that his professional credo remains simple and basic. Simplicity is profound and value honest professionalism is in one's responsibility in public office. Of governance reforms backed by technology the platform, and this needs to be further for greater public good. Sri brings with him a wealth of domain knowledge. As Director General of Shipping, Sri Shyam Jagannath leading transformative initiative. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Captain Jha. I think you have been more than kind to me with your very kind words. I only believe that I am privileged to be posted as the Director General Shipping, and it has been of an immense value to be of some service to the maritime domain. And I look forward to this interaction with all my colleagues in the maritime domain, especially the
itself will inspire many. It has been inspiring us, and it will definitely inspire many of young seafarers as well. Sir, I will start with the mental health concerns, and rest questions will be taken care by our fellow moderator, Captain Ramji. To start with, sir, I have seen a lot of initiatives DGS has taken during these last 2 years that you have been in command, wherein Sagar Mein Yog, Sagar Mein Shambha. I'd like to request your perspective, how it is going and what you think in future we can further delve into it.
See, my understanding here is not just in this. See, if we are having you are aware that seafaring is an excellent and inspiring career, but it has its own uniqueness and peculiarities. There are long duration contracts at sea. The sea is something perhaps we will never be able to control because it is one of the elements. Sea can be placid, it can be rough, and just like ups and downs, pool is contributed, and we are aiming global seafarer that has 10 subcomponents. Sagar Mein Yog, as you mentioned, is an initiative where for the fresh entrant as well as someone with advanced competencies at sea, The balance being would mean it is not just about getting a scientific way of approaching fitness. So you have cardiovascular fitness, you have flexibility fitness, you have anaerobic strength-based fitness. Similarly, not just the physical, you will also goes on a foreign going. The master may be from some other nationality. The colleagues may be from some other nationality. Perhaps he could only be perhaps the only Indian on board. So how does he communicate? What does his body language indicate? Does he become a part of the team or does he feel very isolated? What kind of support system is available to him? So one part. Another part. At the end of the day, when you look for a professional, when you look aspirational goals in end of the day, when you look for a professional, when you look aspirational goals in finances, you have continuous learning is another part of what you call as wellness. So these 10 modules structured are under the umbrella of what is called Sarmi Yoga. Yoga, which India as a heritage gave 5,500 years. Our Honorable Prime Minister is leading from the front. Our Honorable Prime Minister is leading from the front by bringing June 21st as the international, intending to bring these 10 modules into all our maritime institutes, pre-sea, post-sea. Similarly, when we talk about gender inclusion, Sagar Mein Samman. Other than this, we are also trying to work on 24 grievance redress, gender inclusion, Sagar Mein Samman. Other than this, we are also trying to work on 24 grievance redress. If you have a hostile management, are you perceived that there is some wrong? If you have a hostile management, are you perceived that there is some wrongdoing? Are any of your seafarer rights are wrongly assuaged? Who do you reach out to? A 24/7 system that basically is supported by the Directorate General of Shipping to ensure seafarers' rights and to ensure seafarers' welfare. And welfare doesn't stop at training. It also starts with the CBA. It also starts with a proper kind of an interface where there is no bullying, no harassment, zero alcohol. What is doing is under the mandate of the FAL, under IMO, the maritime single window is being provisioned. Application will have the entire crew manifest, it will have the cargo manifest, and it will have all electronically. Reducing the second is the Ministry of Home Affairs is now working with Shipping and Waterways Government of India to improve the infrastructure at the FRRO and the immigration checkpoints at the ports. The third is DG Shipping at ports is now actively engaging with the port administration to create seafarer welfare facilities. Say a seafarer club or a vehicle which can be provided to bring from the restricted port area where the shore leave is provided to a place where the person can rest, he can recoup, he can refresh himself, has access to an ATM, has access to internet, can basically just buy a few provisions, etc. So this also is being worked out under the Seafarers Welfare Fund, Seafarers Welfare Fund Society. We are also, as I mentioned, bringing in the 24/7 grievance helpline where any issue with shore leave can immediately be raised. And we would then try to get on to this regular grid between the Ministry of External Affairs, the Ministry of Home Affairs, and the Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways as the facilitative regulatory authority to help the seafarer avail his right of shore leave.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And while we are on this mental health and seafarers welfare concerns, one more point which always our cadets and young officers are coming up is on the exam fairness and tech readiness. While we have seen a lot of initiatives from DG Shipping has been taken, and especially last that we have seen is Noida, you have conducted online systems exams wherein there will be no delays now for they can They can see their answer sheet if at all they want to verify and all. Presently, I think it's a manual which takes a lot of time. So, what you want to tell our new generation of seafarers who are preparing for second mate or engineering exams, that how this tech readiness or tech development of DGS initiatives can help them in future, especially when it comes to exam pressures and preparations.
First thing is unrelated to the subject matter for all. And will be provided certain avenues which are presently limited. Say, for instance, he brings a bag, his mobile device, he will be provided facilities with a locker, a small refreshment place where you can have maybe a coffee or tea during the break in the morning, forenoon, and the afternoon session. A place where you can sit down and a comfortable place where you can just sort of take a small break. Then civic amenities such as toilet, then drinking water, etc. These will be provided. DG shipping will come out from the management of the venue. It will be the National Testing Agency, the NTA, which is conducting examinations like the competitive exams like NEET, competitive exams like the IIT JEE. They will take over the center management. So they will ensure good furniture. Plus, presently in Noida, as you mentioned, from 1st of April, we started a pilot. There are 8 processes from the booking of the slot for the examination right up to the declaration of the result. At Noida in the pilot, all we have attempted to do is firstly, the allegations that the question paper is available in advance. If somebody gives a WhatsApp message, pay us some money, we will give you the question paper. These are being completely finished by making the question paper available directly on the system, on the IP address mapped to the candidate coming for the examination. There is a facial character recognition we are working on with multi-factor authentication so that the candidate can walk in. Right now, he has to present some physical evidence of his personal identification, which will then basically rely only on the digital endorsed details that is there along with his face character recognition. So you can just walk in and present the QR scanned admit card and basically take the examination. The second part is basically about other than the written. Written will basically happen on an all-in-one desktop where they will basically attempt a completely digital process where presently they are still doing the conventional writing of the answer scripts, which is being scanned, and then the scanned sheets are then given to external evaluators and the evaluation is done so that it is minus any human bias. Say I do not like a particular seafarer and I am assessing his paper and then I am basically giving him lesser marks in the return. This is not going to happen. For the oral competencies, there is a threefold, three-phase approach. The first is wherever we are having the interactions between the seafarer and the examiner, this is being recorded. So the earlier interface which used to be there where sometimes maybe an examiner is slightly stricter or is heckling the candidate. For instance, during the course of the examination, making a comment which is slightly demeaning or upsetting the candidate in the sense saying, अरे you do not know appearing for the competency सर मैं 6 बार लिख चुका सर मेरे को अभी 7वें बार बड़ा मतलब दूसरा सेंटर कोई ले लूं क्या. That issue will be attempted to be set at rest. And alongside this, the seafarer is having his own right to give a feedback. So if there is a concern at a particular examination center or a complaint, DG Shipping will take the harshest of actions to ensure that there is no ambivalence and no bias in the assessment and certification process.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure our cadets, juniors, TMEs, all listening directly from you will be motivated with this kind of initiatives and the steps that DGS has taken. And now I would like to request Captain Ramji to take over the proceedings from here. Over to you, Captain Ramji, sir.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you, DG Shipping, for taking the time to talk to us. As you know, the target audience is cadets and second mate participants who are going to be appearing for second mates. So my request would be that I take a step forward because we have been discussing a lot of things in detail. Just for our own understanding, could you please explain how does DG Shipping go about implementing policies or coming up with policies, orders, circulars, whatever it is, because there seems to be a kind of at least the industry and the students like us or like me like to think that there is a certain kind of arbitrariness or anything of that, which I don't believe that there is, because there is always some system in the thing. So how do you go about it? So could you please explain that in detail so we all understand how a particular policy is made?
So the opening submission I will make is that no system is perfect and there is always room for improvement. The second issue is most of the standards are set in mercantile marine, essentially internationally. Say, for instance, the competencies and their assessment is predefined in the STCW. The issue of arbitrariness comes in when either there is some apprehension or suspicion of a lumpen element, someone who is not professionally applying himself. And that human ambivalence is what we have to remove by making our processes so robust that it is not subject to bias by any prejudiced corner. Now, the answer or the attempted answer to the question that how do you go about in your policy formulation? The standard approaches: one, there is a global standard. Two, based on the global standard, it is incorporated into the Indian maritime, specifically for assessment of a competency or for maybe a particular thing as a casualty investigation or a safety circular. Whatever step is then taken, which is a novelty or something new in the process, is put through a stakeholders consultation and a feedback mechanism. For instance, institutionally, India is perhaps the only flag which has brought in age norms. So everyone is basically who's a ship owner, not at the cadet sides, is simply saying that how can you specify age norms if a vessel gets old? We just need to go through a more rigorous inspection regime, and the vessel is good to ply. How can you say an old vessel should move out or exit? We will just flag in any other flag of convenience. Now, these are pushes and pulls. What India and Indian maritime and statutory regulation is specifying is newer vessels mean newer technologies. Older vessels, yes, we will allow to a certain limit with inspection regimes to ensure the vessel is efficiently operated. The basic aim and objective is safety, security, and sustainability. Now, this is how policy gets collectively built. For instance, since there are people who are writing the second mate, they should be aware pilot ladders are a major issue, a major concern. There have been two recent incidents where we had casualties on pilot ladder, and these were with experienced mariners. So how does the Maritime Administration engage with that? One is a detailed casualty investigation into the said situation and safety advisories on what are the safety checks when you are accessing or using the pilot ladder. Similarly, for all processes related to propulsion systems, engines. This is how the whole process goes on. Similarly, for examination, assessment, certification, and including maritime training.
Okay. Thank you very much. If I understood you very well, then what you're telling us is for the benefit of the cadets. I'm just wrapping up a little bit. It's like a significant percentage of policy making is driven by global standards, which are there out there, and we have to kind of implement it. And during the process of implementation, you try to avoid as much as possible the arbitrariness, which kind of tends to creep in somewhere along the line. So that is one of your most ways of implementation. Thank you very much. And I will go on to the next question. And this is little more, I think I'm hoping that you can bring your personal perspective or actually how you appear for exam, etc. Since you did your UPSC. One of the things which always kind of confounds a student is the exam stress. And obviously, you have done one of the most competitive exams, that is UPSC. So probably less than 1% will get through somehow. So how do you go about it? Because this is, as I said earlier, the students, our target audience is second mates and students who are appearing or cadets. So how can they go about it? How can they go about reducing it? How can they improve the thought process towards it?
So, no less than the Honorable Prime Minister himself has done several interactions with the student and learning community on examination and examination stress. However, and since you have allowed me this privilege, I will reduce it to 5 basic principles. The examination essentially is a mechanism to assess whether you are having the right material, and there is a pass and a fail. The Union Public Service Commission is a completely different ball game, because there the success ratio is something one cannot predict unless you are what is termed as phenomenally bright and extremely fortunate. In my case, I think I am a rather average student, and it is not that I am exceptionally bright. The discipline that comes is the first pillar. Discipline doesn't mean that getting up at night 2 o'clock and studying till the late in the night again and sleeping only for 2 hours. It means one, a good healthy body, which you take out 20, 25, 30 minutes to exercise, maintain yourself in good shape, hydrate yourself well, sleep at least 8 hours. When I start saying sleep at least 8 hours, everybody asks, how is that possible? There is so little time and so much of material to read. Now, so much of material to read or understand is depending on the second part of your discipline. One is a discipline, the lifestyle. The two, I mean, obviously you can't prepare for an examination with 5 cans of beer. So that is the discipline part. The second part is attention span. The human mind is designed in a way that you apply yourself at any given subject, it will deviate from that in the 15 maximum attention span of 10 to 15 minutes, unless you have a very, very sharp focus. So attention span needs to basically be that don't sit down for considerably long hours and keep on learning by rote. Make learning a good, enjoyable experience. How do you do that? This is by repetitive learning. If you read a particular portion, say for instance, which is perhaps I'll speak about the UPSC, a particular portion which is not at all being understood. You read it the first time, you may understand only 5%. Give it a gap, maybe another 10, 15, 20 minutes. Refresh yourself, maybe wash your face, have a small walk, play with the dog, or just do some simple reading, or eat an apple, come back. reading. You've done these 5 repeats, you will understand you're getting 45 to 50% of what you've read. Now comes the applied part where the examination system assesses you in your comprehension. Look at probably previous year's questions or look at standard questions that are asked. And in today's world, when I was preparing for the UPSC, I'm on the wrong side of 50, so I'm an old man and I shouldn't be advising. But today, technology, there is this relation we all ubiquitously have. It is called as Google Uncle. Gives us so many resources which are available that you really can use your potential, which truly is limitless. The last part is after repetitive learning is assessing your skills. This comes by practicing the previous year's questions and looking at how the assessment system is asking you. And the fourth, the last part is working smart. Working smart is something, for instance, do not try to finish a whole book one day. It is just not feasible. Do it at a comfortable pace of learning. So if the assessment exam you're taking is 6 months away, you start by pacing yourself correctly 6 months before. Please don't start preparing for the exam 6 hours before. These are what I can offer, and the UPSC also is very interesting. You see, as you mentioned, the success percentage is very less. But I would like to share with my dear young friends, my first attempt met with failure. I still distinctly remember after I wrote my first attempt. My father being from the army, army men have a certain way of communicating. And I had the privilege of addressing him not as daddy or papa, but as sir. So, and those days, the newspapers were the only medium of checking your results. When the UPSC results came, they would be published in the Hindu, in the Indian Express, and at the Press Trust of India notice board. I mean, there was no online publication then because UPSC didn't have a website then. Now, during that time, I still remember there were 768 candidates who had passed. And my father looked at the first 2, 3 columns because to put in 768 names inside the newspaper, they type it with very small font. So it is a lot of effort to search a name. And he looked at the first probably 50, 60 names and said, useless fellow, he's not qualified at all. And threw the paper on my face and said, this is all I expected out of you. You've not done well. So I went back and opened the paper, and instead of looking from the top, because I knew that 1 or 2 papers I had not done well, so I started from the bottom of the list. And God Almighty's grace, my name was there at 563. So I ran to him and said, no, I have qualified 563. So then, as a typical army man would say that, well, Sonny, you've really proven yourself. Now go and join your good job and serve the country. So I then tried to convince him through my mother that there is this provision when you write the UPSC, whatever you get as the first attempt, you can reserve that seat. Only thing is, you lose 6 months of seniority in the service and you can take a second attempt. You must have heard a lot of stories where somebody is in grade A service, he writes, he gets the IAS or the IPS. So having the confidence that now, at least from an unemployed youth, I have got a good government job opportunity, then I attempted the exam very aggressively in my second attempt. In my second attempt is what I wanted to share with my cadet friends. It is called a smart preparation. You only do 70% of the syllabus for a particular subject because 30% may or may not be asked. You don't make the preparation a kind of introduction of your academic excellence. You make it purely exam oriented, very practical. And the second attempt saw me scale through that. 563 rank, the five got knocked off, and I got the 63rd rank, and then joined the Indian Administrative Service. So this was my journey. I hope what I'm trying to tell my young friends is failure is only a stepping stone to success. Persistence, resilience, and focus. These three things get you through.
Thank you very much. And I'll just wrap up very quickly for the benefit of the students about what you said and took some time to explain. That is, of course, the discipline and lifestyle. Then there is an attention span, which again is a big challenge these days because I don't think anybody reads anything beyond YouTube shorts. So that is a bit of a challenge. And you kind of try and make it an enjoyable experience as well when you're learning. Then you have an applied part that is comprehension. That is how do you comprehend something. And of course, you have the repetition of the things, like you repeat it several times so that you kind of learn it by this one and not by rote. Then you also assess your skills to know where you stand. Then, of course, you work smart. And as you finally explained, like you also take some calculated risk. You do the risk management very well so that you know that even though you're qualified, it is not El Dorado. You want to do it better. You want to do it better, not by just mugging up everything now, but studying smartly. So that is like persistence and resilience. That is what matters, not give up so easily. So that is great learning for us actually. And I'm going to beat my drums a little bit because we also have trying to, for the benefit of the students, we also try to make some software for learning call regs. So that is primarily relies on this, which we shall be releasing pretty soon, and that is made by me. So that primarily I kind of use some of the learnings what you have given, and some other learnings I'll also try to apply so that the students learn something better. So I'm going to move on to the next question, and that is that what do you think is the future of Indian seafarers in global shipping? You kind of touched upon it about the targets of moving from 13% to say 25% over a period of next say 10 years or so. What I'm looking for from you is basically for the benefit of students, because I do see some in WhatsApp groups that it is no point being an engineer because it's all getting automated. So there is an advent of AI coming in. That's a big challenge which is coming in. And there is also an issue of what is the future going to be. Like, everybody's kind of afraid of the future for some reason or other, which is not a very good thing, but still. So how do you think we can go about it? And what is the future? Where do you see us next, apart from just the numbers?
Sir, I think it's a very significant question because the first part about the future is it has got two engines as drivers, which are interfacing and bringing out multiple kind of either a confusion or a miscomprehension. One engine driver is sustainability. The other engine driver is technology. Now, while technology continues to disrupt, sustainability sets the bar at how you're basically looking at more energy efficient devices and alternate energy based propulsion systems. That is changing the paradigm in shipping because shipping is going to be one of the first sectors that is going to transition in the decarbonization connect. So you will have all these young second mates eventually then rising up to masters, basically chief engineers themselves, their colleagues, and commanding vessels where one sign-on contract could be on a dual fuel vessel. And if he has the relevant competencies, he may go on to an ammonia powered vessel. Or maybe if he has the competencies, a methanol vessel. So, meaning the technology is going to change very, very rapidly. You have mentioned the use of artificial intelligence or disruptive technology, which is basically taking away the fallacies of slow processing, inability to do large volume tasking, repetitive tasking are also what AI enables in terms of predictive tasking. Now, all of these will get together and one has to contend with these changes. How I see the future, at least as a Director General shipping is we are also transitioning from Director General Shipping to Director General Maritime Administration. So it's not just about mercantile marine now. It will cover the vessel port interface on the ports. It will cover shipyards. It will cover ship recycling centers. It will also cover offshore operations. It will also look at inland operations because you'll have to have the multimodal logistic shift. There will be a lot of technology that is infused. The question that you asked about, it's no good being an engineer because automation is going to take over everything, is a similar kind of a question that was asked at the time of cusp when the computer revolution set in. There was a lot of uh, angst and objection to bringing in computers into India and saying that this will render everybody without a job. One computer will do 100 people's job and nobody will have a job. Today, we proudly are an economy that exports soft services, and more than 44% of basically our exports is highly on the manufacturing and on the software services side. So these have only added on a zillion other jobs than projected that. So as things will change, my understanding is the human element will always remain primary because that is how systems will be governed. You cannot have what they show in movies, that cybernet became self-aware and then the human basically is victimized by an automated system. Yes, the degree of automation will always be there, but the human override would have to be there because we need to ensure safe shipping. We need to ensure sustainable shipping. And technology will be an aid. The issue that one has to grapple with is in a rapidly changing system, you will have to be on your toes. Just as regulators, we will have to come out with regulations. If you look at fuels, alternate fuels, which is the best fuel, which is the transition fuel? Even in the MEPC 83 at the IMO, there were several pulls and pressures. If India voted as one of the 63 countries, you would also be aware that 16 abstained, and the United States of America just walked out of the forum. So differences of opinion would be there. My appeal to my young friends is use technology as a strength, leverage it, let it be your strength and not a handicap. Meaning, from the maritime domain regulators' experience, we provide them quality training, the assessment and certification, which I had earlier mentioned, three phases. So we provide them a integrated system end to end without human ambivalence. The second thing is bring in more technology in the sense web-based simulation, where they can sit in the comfort of their personal quarters and try out exercises on an ordinary laptop. Then 360-degree simulators, which are there with maritime training institutes. Use simulation exercises in your oral competency checks. You mentioned basically you're doing software modules on coal rigs. Now, running exercises on a ubiquitous learning management system where all maritime training institutes have mandatorily, as DG approved institutions, to provide this digital learning platform, standardizes at one go throughout the nation the maritime education, which is not happening now because faculty quality and faculty insights and faculty dedication is deciding what is the training input to the cadet. So these are the things we are working on, and all I can appeal to my young friends is they should not see it as too much of a mind-boggling challenge. Keep life simple. Stay on top of technology and basically be your best version. And if there's a problem, you can always version upgrade.
Okay, thank you. And I don't know how well we are doing for time. I hope I can ask a couple of more questions, and these are the
No,
last two questions from my end.
we don't have time, sir. We don't have time.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So now we are in almost last segment of our discussion. So I would request DG sir to give a short, crisp message to young seafarers. And after that, Captain Brian will sum up and Captain Sun will give the thanks notice, thanks giving speech.
Yeah, I just wanted to have a set of six messages to my dear young future seafarers and those who are already into a career in seafaring. Firstly, feel proud about who you are because you are the only best person who's out there. There is no one as unique as you, and it will take all of us together as a team to go through. Please remember in your professional career, safety first. In everything that you do, please apply your mind and ensure safety first. Secondly, as I mentioned, your potential is truly limitless because as times are transitioning, so also can your professional excellence be limitless. I can only reiterate, be self aware, work hard, stay humble. And I will also lastly appeal to you with Swami Vivekananda ji's magical inspiring quote: Arise, awake, and stop not till your own personal goals and national goals which you will contribute to are achieved. Wish you all the very best and thank you for providing me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request our mentor, Mr. Captain Brian, to sum up the session, followed up by with Captain Saran for Thanksgiving. Over to you,
Good
Captain Brian.
afternoon. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Good afternoon, sir. Sri Shyam Jagannathan. The very outset, thank you very much. It was loaded interaction, and I managed to jot down a few points here, which I will quickly summarize. The topics discussed was, to begin with, was wellness as the only correct state of being, having 10 subcomponents, 10 balances, being physical well-being, physical well-being, being along the scientific methods, followed by mental fitness, communication, financial wellness were some of the topics touched. Then moving on to seafarers' rights and welfare, shore leave. The shore leave being a joint effort between DG Shipping, the MEA, and the Ministry of Home Affairs. Furthermore, it was discussed regarding the tech interface to smoothen out vessels inbound and outbound movements, the pre-arrival notifications. Then the DG shipping interaction with ports for seafarers' welfare facilities throughout Pan India. Now, later on, regarding exams, easy interface, a new portal being created to summarize the few highlights: choice of examination centers, seating arrangements, locker facilities, as well as civic amenities and a corner for refreshments. If I could manage to note that all down, it summarizes all of that. Then DG Shipping will move out and become a national testing agency, digitalization of the examination process, thereby eliminating the primary purpose of that is to eliminate any human bias. Orals will have a recording of orals. Will make sure that ambivalence or regarding the implementation of policies, they will be based upon the three main points, that is safety, security, and sustainability. Examination management. Sir talked about for the students involves discipline, attention span. Then exam-oriented preparation was very informative for me as well. The 70-30 method of preparation, and the base points being persistence, resilience, and focus. With regards to the with technology and the role of the future of the Indian seafarers, the example was regarding decarbonization, and the candidates must upskill as per the latest technology, AI being the technology in question. The degree of automation will always be there. However, the human element will always remain primary. So with this, I conclude the summary and moving over to Captain Yash Saran for the Thanksgiving note. Thank you.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone, and especially a special thanks to DGS Sir Shri Shyam Jagannathan ji for taking his time out and providing us with clear insights and sort of a clarity in where the marine industry and the future of our young seafarers goes. This goes a long way in assuring the youngsters that all is well. And we, like you said, maybe there is room for improvement. There always is. But we must thank you for your time, yourself, for taking out time to explain all this in such a patient manner. Big thanks to Captain Ramji Krishnan sir for bringing up the questions for all the mentors and the mentees, and Captain Rebello Brian for summarizing it so nice and sweetly so that clarity remains. Of course, the big thanks to Amresh, Captain Amresh Jha, who keeps organizing these seminars, and I'm sure we all students learn a lot from it. Last of all, thank you to all the persons who have joined this webinar, and I'm quite sure we will all have great takeaways from this, and we'll keep coming back for more. Thank you all, and thank you especially Sir DGS Shyam Jagannath ji.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. To all, we will have another session on which Captain Vineet Ranawat will take on mental well-being. But now, DGS sir session is over. Thank you again, sir. Thank you again, sir, for all the time and all the insights you have shared with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. So now, dear cadets, all the mentees and mentors, we have Captain Vineet Ranawat, who shall be now taking a session on mental well-being. This is basically need of the hour for the obvious reason that we have seen a lot of news going in and around, and especially after COVID, there has been big challenges maintaining this mental health issue, which even right from masters to chief engineer to cadets and TMAs and crew, everybody is suffering with. So over to you, Captain Ranawat, for your session now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Captain Amresh, and very good afternoon to all of my friends here. It's really been an honor that I'm here as part of the team. Thank you for this great opportunity. I won't be taking too long. It is just to let you know that stress, pressures are part of a human life. I would not say that it remains only with the seafaring community. It remains around us even on land where people are working in different organizations. So for me, just to give a short view, I am an ex-Rajendra candidate. I passed the academy in '85. I'm the first 2-year batch. And I fairly remember those years, we had Iran-Iraq war. And there were our seniors who couldn't get a job. Since 2 years, there were a lot of dharnas around the DG and MMD offices. And we were asked to quit. 100 of us were selected in that academy that year. We were the first IIT batch those days. And you can imagine the stress and the pressure on us, because on one side we left home with the hope that we will be, doing well at sea as a career. We couldn't tell our parents how difficult it would be after 2 years because the war was still on. Fortunately, it's not there right now. So you can imagine we completed our academy part. I was awarded silver medal as the best all-rounder, Sir Digby Best Medal that year. As soon as we stepped out, of course, we had to look for jobs. But how one can prepare ourselves? I got practically scholarships from SCI, Great Eastern, and many other area institutions to cover all my expenses, but there would have been a 3-year of writing a contract to serve them. But as a sailor, I always felt it is good to have experience as a cadet rather than landing on a ship without experience. And I chose SCI for that, one of the best companies, which could give me that base. And I did a container come general cargo. an oboe, and a VLCC Kanchenjunga. And that ship took me to the war-stricken zones of Iran, where we had to load cargo. Imagine we couldn't navigate in the night, so there was so much fear. There was always stress because she was already blasted 6 months back. And we couldn't even switch on lights or radar in the night. We would just anchor quietly and leave during the day. So those were the days of fear and troubles, but then we were there. Why I'm sharing this with you is because our career started in doldrums. And yet you make a choice not to hop on to any opportunity which comes your way, but to prepare yourself so well that no matter what comes, I have an experience of a variety of ships rather than taking only oil tankers for that matter, so that I can perform better as an officer. Because we could be on any ship, let's say. So I was pretty prepared. Why I'm saying all this is because in today's time, we, the young ones, I have my children practically your age, all of us like to be in a comfort zone. Why did we choose a sea career? We feel we'll just go abroad, we'll have a look at all these lovely countries outside, make money and come back home, which is absolutely fine. One of our ambitions, one of our targets. We join sea for different things. But how do I make money? If I take a fruit tree today, what did the farmer do? He plowed the field, he worked hard. Here you are the farmer who has to plow the field. You're the one who is sowing the seed for your own tree to make fruits. So how well we prepare ourselves while we are in this situation of learning is the best. We will not get the second chance. So my request to all my dear ones is, though we may have an ambition which is good, but let us focus on the now. One of the most important tips is here and now. What am I doing while I am given this opportunity to learn, to prepare myself for my own exam and my own future? I also have an opportunity today to probably use the internet and while away my time and yet say, oh, too much stress, I didn't get time to prepare myself. Rather, my request would be, this is the time to prepare. The exams, really speaking, like I loved when DG sir was mentioning, study smart. To be honest with all of you, I was an average student. But somewhere in 11th standard, I came across a friend who really is a very special person in my life, who taught me how to study. Like DG sir mentioned, we generally tend to study everything. We don't study for preparing ourselves for exams. It's okay to study all provided you have time, but also prepare yourself. The style which I could adopt, which probably would be helpful to all the young ones, is that I must have 3 revisions before my exams. And I tell you, it helped me in my IIT exam as well. How do I do 3 revisions? Like he mentioned, you cannot really learn everything in the first go. We tend to spend a lot of time in learning and mugging up things. I'm just giving you a tip which could be valuable for some of you who would like to adopt. Write a calendar, your exam date, see how you're going to plot your learning in that. And if you see, the third exam revision would be just a day or so before your exam, and you'll be able to flip through pages. Spend probably 3 days in one subject or 4 days in one subject. Next time you'll need only 2 days. Third time would be just a flip through. And you'll be able to recollect more. Whichever you're weakest, spend time there the most. But earlier, this is like a tip for preparation. Study smart, make your own notes, which are simple. Each one will have their own style. Now I'll take with you the stress part, which I have been asked to speak about. You see, mental wellness is something which we definitely need. And what affects our mental wellness, whether we are at sea or we are preparing to be at sea, is our emotional states, our physical health itself, our financial situations, the family pressures. All of us will always be subjected to these stresses. But right now, your major stress is, will I qualify my exam and get a job? This is your immediate goal. I would rather say, let us prepare for life right now. Because if we have learned to do that now, you will find that no matter what happens outside me, whether it is a family pressure, emotional, financial, I should create a state of balance in my system, which will help me navigate through life very easily. And how do I achieve that inner balance? As long as I have learned not to get excited. For me, I left sea around 13 years back when I was last working for a Norwegian company, Champion Tankers. And since 13 years, personally, I have been into a system which helped me balance my own life, which we call meditation. I started it as when I was still a captain. Around 6 years I sailed before I started this practice. But to be honest with all of you, I am a meditation trainer. We offer our services free of cost. But I have seen that it helped me create a balance in me. Then whether it was a piracy attack on board, or it was a cargo contamination, or any issues with the crew, I knew exactly how to handle the situation in the most peaceful manner. Whether it is fire on board, it depends on the captain or the chief engineers, how well they have groomed themselves that they are able to guide their crew, support them, bring the best out of them so that they become better officers than what we are or we were. So I have only a few tips for my friends here. The first important part, which also DG sir mentioned, because as we age, as we grow in life, we bring a lot of value into our learning. And I wish someone had spoken to us like this before. Thanks to Captain Amresh, who's given us an opportunity that believe in yourself. Number one, he did mention you're all special, something like that. You're unique. Each one of us has been created special. None of us lack the caliber, otherwise we wouldn't be here in these academies. So you're already at the right place. Now, believe in yourself. Have your confidence in you for what that you're the chosen one. Number two, now is the time to work on yourself. Prepare yourself better without wasting even a minute, because time wasted will not come back. Now, how do we utilize time when we prepare ourselves? Means I need to see how to use the technology wisely. You will be pulled. When I was doing my master's or chief mates, I was always dragged by the people saying, come on, let's have a Saturday evening out. We will go and have fun. I said, look, if I have fun now, I will probably lose the fun later. I'll reserve it for future. But what needs to be done here and now is where the wisdom lies. My humble request to all the dear ones, whether you're in Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, wherever, please utilize your time. Let it not slip away, because the regrets later bring depression and issues, health issues. I'm here to see how we can remain healthy. So please utilize your time, sleep well. 8 hours, sir mentioned, is not in vain. That means I must sleep early. I am a late riser, but a late sleeper. I have always been that from my school days. And somehow it was my style or my way of learning. But then if you are a different one, please go ahead, spend more time with yourself. Friends are there, we can always discuss, we can always talk, but please look after your sleep cycle. Internet is to be used only wisely if it is helping me in my studies. We can talk for hours with our friends and family, but it is better right now to use the moment for your own self. Once we are on board, I would like to take you all on board now. This was only to prepare yourself for your exams, study well and do all that. make nice companions with you who can only help you in studies, and always be friend to people who pull you to bars, but please avoid them for now. That will be my
Sir,
request.
before you take it on board ship, I just have one question. DG
Sir,
sir has also mentioned about short span of no we have nowadays very short span of concentration. So, and you said you have been practicing meditation, which has helped you while on board ship as a captain. So, how can meditation help in increasing the span, concentration? You think meditation can help
yes,
students in increasing the concentration?
tremendously, tremendously, Captain. I have been meditating for last 21 years, and all we did is just connect with your higher self within, which heartfulness meditation is one of the meditation techniques, but it is very easy because there's not much we do. We just connect with our inner self and feel your higher self within, which is none other than the life force which drives us, which gives us life. Once we learn to connect with it, you find there's so much energy and freshness, because in no time you can get that state of deeper sleep, as we say. And you need hours to sleep. I need only 6 hours max, to be honest with you, max. That is for physical body, but back in life. And slowly meditation, by doing meditation, the concentration improves naturally. There is no need to really focus on a dot and forcing your mind. Concentration is a byproduct of meditation. So those who have learned, and it has helped me tremendously, Captain Jha, because I knew exactly where the problem would be on board. I knew exactly how people have issues with them. Cargo, you name a thing, pirate attacks, things like that. You knew it, and how you can prepare yourself better. So my humble suggestion is to all the youth, please do try and find some time, even if it is 15-20 minutes in the morning, 10-15 minutes in the evening. Just sit by yourself, with yourself, connect with your heart, learn these techniques which are easily available on the net, free of cost. None of our trainers who are 16,000 in the globe charge anything. I'm not literally professing this is the only way. I would suggest that this is one of the easiest way without paying anything you can learn at the comfort of your homes.
Find these seafarers, especially the young ones, when they're going.
More stressing is the captain's condition or the chief engineers, where they say the officers are coming on board tired because they have been talking so much and not resting. So that is another issue. But I would suggest that you can download Heartfulness app, carry with you. You can connect with any trainer anytime. You can have one-to-one session with them free of cost. And a lot of these good things are there in these apps. YouTube is there. You can just learn heartfulness meditation through that. I mean, I recommend it because it has helped me personally. And somehow I always tried to learn different things across the globe. And I finally got settled with this one because it was natural for me.
So how this can help for loneliness, depression, sir?
Sir, depression will come only if we are trying to expect something. And always expectation is from someone else or something which doesn't happen in my life. Why will I get depressed? Is because it is not happening the way I want things to happen. Another reason is when you're bullied on board, let's say. So for me, I always felt, because I was a lone cadet on one of the ships, oboes of SCI, where I had 10 seniors with me. He was there before me, and he literally wanted to jump off the ship because he was bullied. The day I joined, practically those 10 were my best friends. They literally took care of me like a baby. They'll say, "Arey, bachche ko tang mat karo, we will do the work here." So how can those 10 people be bad for someone and be good to you? Because I made part of the team. Once you're the one whom people want to be close to. And for that, sir, one thing which I always felt, I would suggest we have to become indispensable. And that is possible. कहते हैं ना एक अच्छा worker सबको चाहिए. Sir, now today the biggest issue is I see people want to go on board. They don't want to work many a times. And then they would say, oh, so and so captain was bad. I'll tell you one short incident. Once on board a ship at 11 in the night, I reached the bridge, and my third officer, who had joined just 3 days back, was calculating his salary for 6 months. There was an investment plan already with him for 6 months, 20 minutes in the chart room to jot down all that. And I said, what are you doing, son? And he says, sir, I just calculated how much salary I will receive and where will I invest. I said, is this the time? What is it that I should be doing? He said, sir, I should have been on bridge keeping a watch. I said, what should you do if I was doing this and you were my captain? He says, sir, I would have fired you. I said, what should I do now? I said, I pardon you. But if you continue like this, you'll never make that money, sir. So it depends how, if you're balanced also, if your vocabulary is good, if you are heartful and care for people, people do change. But for me was never to give a chance to superiors to point a finger at, you see. That was probably my ego. I should work in such a way where people would say, I don't want to let go this officer. He's the best I ever got. So please work hard. There should be no shame in dirtying your hands, because many a times I have seen officers, they don't want to dirty their boiler suits. And this is the first lesson I learned, that one should be prepared to dirty your hands if you want to be a good master mariner. I worked where probably even a pumpman would say, I can't repair this, a fitter say, I can't repair it. I learned from my crew members how to dirty hands. And even as a captain, I would repair my own tank cleaning machines. Can you believe it? While you're at sea. Because I loved working with my hands. And that is where the training goes to the next ones. So please be the best at whatever we do, sir.
Thank you. I think Captain Saran has some question. Captain
Please,
Saran,
sir.
you want to ask something? Captain Saran, you wanted to ask something? You have to unmute yourself.
Actually, listening to a lot of things where I'm unmuted. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Am I audible now, Amrish?
You are audible, sir.
Yeah, no,
You are
no.
audible.
I think my connection is a little poor, but hopefully the sound will go okay. From what Captain Ranawat had said, and if I compare, for all you may not know, I have come back to sea in the last 5 years after 12 or 14 years ashore. And the biggest difference I see from the times of yore and times of now is this thing called that 6x4-inch screen of yours, of the kids. Do not try to immerse yourself in that too much. We have seen days in the past where we'd all talk to each other instead of talking to our screens. And believe me, that takes the stress away in a much better way. You interact with your colleagues, talk to them, don't stay to yourself, and keep being social. And especially for the youngsters, believe you me, Captain Amresh knows me and a few others know me, I have simply gone back to sea as to sail again after being ashore in corporates for 14 years, simply because I found the life at sea is totally stress-free. There's no stress about it. Please do not take that kind of a stress. It's a lovely life. It's a quiet life. There are days where it can be very busy and it could be a little tough, but that's the challenge. And believe me, I was not a bright student at all. In fact, I don't show my mark sheet to my son even today from class 12, but they would laugh with me. But there is no stress. The job becomes your passion. Meditation can come in many ways. It can come in spending half an hour in the gym, listening to music, listening to chants, have a game for yourself. Nowadays, at a later age, if I feel I'm getting stressed out, the best thing is I open my phone and play Scrabble, because I concentrate on that word game so much that I forget what I'm being bothered by. And it's it's just about handling stress. You at least to train so take it in a stride and enjoy your life and keep your hobbies and stay social, especially with people who feel depressed or they do not keep things among yourself. Talk to people, your juniors, to your seniors, whoever. Most of the masters and chief engineers and senior officers will be open to them if you go and try to talk to them at the right time. Of course, please do not try and talk to them when they are so busy that they may not give you time. But they will always give you time. Remember that. And stay busy. That's all. And like Captain Nawat said, be passionate and be
Thank
calm.
you.
Stay calm.
Thank you so much, sir.
The
Thank you,
biggest
Captain
thing
sir.
the guide I will give you is if somebody of you thinks that you cannot do anything about a situation, don't stress about it because you anyway can change it. Right, guys? Captain Ranat, back to you, sir. Sorry for the interruption.
Thank you, sir. No, it's always a pleasure because, like sailor stories, I mean, if I start off, or each one of us will have stories to tell, I would like to add my last note on this how life will teach us or challenge us every time, friends. Let us be prepared. I fairly remember the day of my master's, and Captain Navte was the nautical advisor in '93. And I was staying in Thane in Mumbai, and I was supposed to go for my Viva orals that day for masters. It was Bombay Bandh. I was all dressed up, and there was nothing moving because Thakre Sahab had announced Bombay Bandh. So no trains, no buses, nothing was moving. One of the friends who was there on a scooter, he said, "My scooter is in reserve. I'll take you as far as I can." And we pleaded so many people, nobody took me until I reached the DG shipping office. And there, Captain Navde's wife actually pushed him. He had 4 students, 4 candidates to interview. And he said, maybe someone would have come. He said, Aaj kaun aayega? Bombay band hai. She said, no, dekhiye to sahi. So imagine I thanked that lady today without knowing her. Captain Navde came there and he saw me sitting. He said, what have you come for? I said, don't you know it's Bombay Bandh? I said, yes, sir, but today was my date of interview. So can you believe the other 3 candidates were from Mumbai itself? I was the only one who was from outstation. He said, just wait 10 minutes, I'll call you in. First thing he said, would you like a cup of coffee or tea? I said, I need it, sir. So we had a cup of coffee. Imagine I'm being interviewed by him. That man asked me 3-4 questions. An interview went on for an hour, like the orals would be. To be honest with all of you, he didn't ask me any specific question like we do in second mates, and there was no specific answer. It was more related to cargo, insurance, and fires and things like that. Then he thanked me. I was about to say, sorry, sir, I have not answered anything. I was getting a headache. I should prepare myself better. Good, I didn't tell him. Because at that very moment, he stood up, shook hands with me and said, Captain Ranawat, you have passed your orals today. I said, sir, but to be honest with you, I didn't answer anything right. So he says, you didn't need to answer anything. I was just wanting to sit with you and know you more. You're the only person who could come to this place without your own vehicle. A captain, I need such who can take his crew in tough times. You have passed your captaincy because of that. If you can do that, you can take your crew in tough times. So you see, we are always challenged. But how do we go about life itself makes us more courageous and confident. And that is what the confidence your crew is looking up to you. So right now, while we are cadets, while we are students, it is the time to shape yourself. Rather than not people thinking about what you would be, believe in yourself, meditate more, connect with your heart, and see where this can take you in the realm of life itself. Please prepare yourself. There will be family issues, like I say, at sea, storms will be there, crew issues, cargo issues. You may not have food. I've sailed on ships where the water was not there. We drank Hooghly River water for 8 days to survive. And there are too many stories a sailor would say. And but then I don't have time, and this is not the forum to discuss. But to be honest with you, the tougher life we lead, the better it makes out of us. And for us, being a student in a comfortable institute, please look at those who have not even got those privileges. So thank your stars that you're the chosen ones. Believe in yourself, study hard. That is the need of the hour today, without wasting, and make everybody proud with your lives. And in case tough time comes, there is no reason to get depressed. It is just a lesson, it's an opportunity to sail through and say what lies next is definitely another beautiful, peaceful day. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir. We have almost crossed the time, but I will just open with your permission forum for any questions if anyone has. You have raised hands up. Can you unmute yourself and say whatever you wish to?
The old saying, which I was told, the life in the Navy, they say, is mighty fine. You ask for Marlin Monroe, they give you Frankenstein. The other one is you ask for soup, they give you dishwater and brine. So carrying on with what Vineet said, I'm just one batch senior to him. And, don't have expectations, Go with an open mind and deal with what you see and not what you expect and what you think. Be an open mind because that's going to be your learner. What you want to see, what you want to experience, what you want to deal. I mean, Captain Amrish has always said, getting hands dirty, most important thing in life. Don't look for a fast promotion. Stay, and let me tell you, every rank, as you know, I'm from the Konkan area, it's like a jackfruit, katal. The riper it gets, the sweeter it becomes. And not today you have a lot of means. There are things which Mr. DGS has also said that you might be lone Indian, you might, well, that's international shipping now. It's not like when we went out to sea, we had 55 people on board, 2 cadets, 3 cadets. There would be the other element also. There was ragging and bullying and whatnot, but we took it in our stride. Always remember, there is no looking back. You have to look ahead. You always keep a look out, not a look in, which is happening nowadays on the bridge. So look out, look ahead, and make the best of it and say, this is the best in life here. Come on, the food is not the way your mama made, so what? It's at least unlimited. Okay, you may not have, there might be water rationing, not that always happens, rarely happens. But then you have a good cabin to sleep, an air-conditioned cabin, you have a good accommodation. Work is work. You only work 10 hours a day these days. And there are times when you have to put in long and hours. Fair enough. But, keep your expectations to zero. Otherwise, if you have expectations either way, you're going to have issues. So that's all I can say with my experience. And
Thank you.
what you learn is learn. You're learning. That's all.
Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you so very much. Captain Pradhan has been with us as a mentor for a long time. He has always been available and guide. Now, before we end the session, I would like to invite Captain Kiran Joshi if he wants to share some of his wisdom with young cadets, especially on the examination preparations, or anything that he wishes to speak about, whether mental health or whatever that he feels comfortable.
Good afternoon, sir, and the mentees as well as my colleagues and mentors here. It's a really very good platform provided today for to understand the getting into the basics of examination system preparation. I mean, and the words of wisdom from Captain Ranawat surely should help our lot of candidates. I would like to add to this that DG sir also had mentioned about certain aspects of not losing your heart towards the preparation. And as an external assessor, I do find some of the cadets getting very nervous at the beginning of the orals examinations, as well as some of them do not know where to start now after certain attempts. So, as we say, start with a clean slate, use your time smartly, and see that whatever is required, first, that 70-30 is a very good concept which DG sir today mentioned about. And really, it would help many of the candidates. The candidates who have done multiple attempts and have not been successful, do not lose your heart. There are somewhere you are lacking, but that doesn't mean that you don't know anything. It is surely you know a lot of things, but probably on that particular day, you could not share that, you could not present yourself in a better manner as far as the knowledge what you had acquired from your studies. So don't lose heart. I would urge all the cadets who are preparing for second maths examination, continue your efforts and do your efforts sincerely, dedicate those towards the examination, and you will surely be successful. Just have patience, perseverance, and all the best to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Anyone from the attendees, if you want to ask anything, you want to share something with us, you can unmute yourself. You can raise your hand. I will unmute and you can speak. Okay. If no one, then I would request Captain Ranawat for his last advice to the cadets, young cadets who are into the training institutes or who are in way of preparation of exams or getting on board ships after clearing his C or she. What advice that you would like to give Captain Ranawat? After that, Captain Saran will sum up and Captain Brian will give a Thanksgiving note speech.
Thank you, Captain Jha. Dear friends, the world is open for you. You're the chosen one. Please have confidence. I would always recommend meditation to each and every human on this planet. And believe me, it makes tremendous difference because I'm doing that. I'm a volunteer full time at a place called Kana Shantivanam, Hyderabad. It's the world headquarters for heartfulness. And I feel blessed to be in such a place. And I have experienced personally meditation, the benefits of it, and not just me, my crew too. Because once you have a balanced state of heart and mind, believe me, you can achieve wonders. So I pray for all of you, my friends, and the world is open for you. Lead the world as navigators and bring back the same prestige which our forefathers have left for us. I remember what they did. I got my job because of them. What we did, you all are getting the jobs because of that. So let's continue with honest, dedicated hard work and leave the forum open for the next generation to come. Let's keep up the name of our country, our motherland. That is very, very important because it does go with us. We are called Indian seafarers on foreign fleet, and we have had a very good name. Let's continue with that and uphold it. And please do meditate. That's all I can say. Thank you so much, Captain Jha, for inviting me.
Thanks a lot, sir. It has been really pleasure having you in the session. A lot of wisdom, a lot of good words, and I'm sure mentees will get inspired and get encouraged to follow that. Captain Saran has some issue with his network, so I would request Captain Brian to do honor of Thanksgiving as well as summing up the session. Over to you, Captain Brian.
Good evening again. To sum up, well, I'm in really, it was a meditative session for me today, more than anything else. And the topic was very interesting, relevant. And dear Captain Ranawat, we would like to definitely have many more sessions like this because I believe we haven't even, we just skimmed the surface today. And there is more to it. Unfortunately, we were time bound. And what I would like to, my piece of advice to the cadets and the trainees and those of whom are preparing for the examinations is we are only human beings at the end of the day and susceptible to emotions. And one of the emotions we are often without realizing is the overstimulation of media and our mobile phones. So if you're feeling distracted and you're losing your concentration, you don't blame yourself and don't go too harsh on yourself. is because we even at this age and stage, we all are subject to the same sort of feeling. Mummy daddy always says, concentrate, concentrate, focus, concentrate. कैसे करना था उनको भी नहीं पता था और हमें भी आज तक नहीं पता है. So we just go and like how Captain Ranawat and Captain Kiran Joshi also spelled it out. Meditation is the key to calm the mind down and channelize and focus it with calmness. I hope that the session was insightful and relevant to all our trainers as well. And I'm sure it was to all the other attendees. So we much appreciate the detailed guidance provided regarding staying in the moment, mindfulness, and becoming the best version of oneself. Here, I would like to thank Captain Amresh for bringing us all together on this platform. Something our generation has just started. I never have participated in such a webinar before, and I'm really very happy to be here, a part of it. And I hope I can carry this forward to ships as well. Uh, Captain Ramji, yes, thank you, sir. It was very interactive earlier in the earlier session with you as well, Captain Yash Charan, Captain Kiran Joshi, and Mr. Pratik and Mr. Amit are not here, but I believe they work very hard behind the scenes. I'm only all new to this. Maybe Captain Amresh will be able to, give some more detailed. But yes, I thank them as well, and thank you, everybody.
Thanks a lot, Captain Brian. Yes, as you rightly mentioned, Captain Brian, Amit and Pratik, Imran, Sahira, they are the one who work behind the scene whenever we are conducting such sessions. Captain Naivor, they have been our guiding force who have been helping us conducting these sessions with a lot of inputs. All the mentors, all the mentees who have been part of these sessions, thank you so much for joining. Last but not the least, sailor today, Captain Nangia, who has been a big support. He's doing live telecasting on his radio as well as in his YouTube channel. So all those who could not attend today online can watch these sessions. They are all available in YouTube radio, Sailor Today radio, as well as in Sailor Today YouTube channel. Links are already shared in the group. You can all go through that link as and when you feel comfortable. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks a lot. We definitely come back again with some other webinar next month. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Hi, folks.
Bye.